In this series, I'll help you build the best team comp surrounding your favorite character with just the units you own. That's right, I'll be going through every character in the game. So regardless if you want to build around powerhouse damage dealers like Diluc and Genshin, or if you want to build around less popular DPS units, this is the series for you. After each video, you'll be able to immediately build the team comp that will allow your favorite character to shine, and understand more in depth in the logic and reasoning behind how teams are built. With that said, make sure you're subscribed and have notifications on so that you can follow along. You can also support the series by liking the video and commenting on what character you want to see next. Let's get started. Hey guys, today we'll be focusing on, as many like to call him, Daddy Diluc. The first thing we want to note is Diluc's abilities and elements. Diluc is a hard-hitting claymore user who has a pyrovision. Diluc's unique stat that he gets from Ascension is crit rate, so being able to increase your crit damage cap will be essential to maximizing his damage output. His E is a basic attack reset that deals pyro damage, and his burst unleashes a large phoenix that pushes enemies back and enchants his weapon to deal pyro damage on attack. Our goal is to find the team that can set him up for success and amplify his damage as much as possible. I won't go too much into Diluc's build, but normally you look for Crimson set and stats like pyro damage percentage, attack percentage, crit damage, and crit rate. So before we even begin picking certain characters to fill into our composition, we need to look at what elemental reactions we want to consistently trigger. I put up a graphic which shows every elemental reaction in the game, and you should spend some time to figure out what each elemental reaction does. Pyro has access to the best reactions in the game. Amplifying reactions, which scale the hardest towards late game because it has a multiplier that scales off your attack percentage. And Overload, which has the highest single target damage output within all electro reactions. Swirl is also great combined with Diluc and groups enemies up to allow his skill and burst to have the greatest effectiveness. So if we're looking at elemental reactions in a vacuum, the priority is Cryo/Hydro, then Anemo, then Electro. In addition to elemental reactions, we need to take a quick look at elemental resonance, that is having redundant elements in a single party. For Diluc, since he's already a pyro type, Fervent Flames is the best resonance and will give him a good boost in attack. All the other resonances don't matter. This time I've included an Abyss core for each comp that you can build on top of for your Abyss runs. Note that because each floor has different enemies and buffs, it's impossible to have one comp be great on every floor. Make sure you flex properly so that you have elements to deal with enemies and create the best reactions. Comp 1 features Diluc, Chongyun, Bennett, and Sucrose. This comp is Abyss ready. This is my best in slot and I think has the most raw DPS and versatile kit out of all Diluc comps. Diluc and Chongyun combo super well together, allowing you to proc melt consistently while weaving it into your basic attack rotation. The pair alone can deal with single target bosses really effectively. Bennett adds pyro resonance but also provides healing and buffing, giving your Diluc a huge steroid. Sucrose is there to help deal with mobs, grouping them so that Diluc can cash in on the AoE damage he can do with his skill and burst. I like Sucrose here better than Venti, since Venti's Q pushes enemies out of Diluc's range, making it hard to follow up on Venti's abilities with DPS. However, any Anemo can really work here. The combo sequence for mobs goes Sucrose Q into Chongyun E, into Diluc Q, into Chongyun Q, Sucrose E, then finishing up with a Diluc E into the basic attack sequence. It's important to note that you want to use Chongyun's E first and then use Diluc's Q, because that way you can push all the enemies outside of Chongyun's E so that Diluc's Q, which gives you pyro damage on autos for 8 seconds, can be the most effective. For combo sequence for single target, you're looking at Chongyun E into Diluc basic plus E rotation, then finishing that up with Chongyun Q and Diluc Q. The Abyss core for this comp, Diluc, Chongyun, Healer, and a Flex which can be the Anemo if you need to group. Comp 2 features Diluc, Mona, Fischl, Venti, but Jean and Sucrose can also fill Venti's spot. It's important to note here that Traveler isn't that good as an Anemo user in these comps because he pushes the enemies away, which makes it really hard to combo off of. This comp is more centric around dealing with mobs of enemies. It sacrifices some single target prowess in order to maximize your AoE damage against large groups of enemies. Build Mona as your secondary DPS and use her to proc Vaporize in a pyro-infused swirl. I have Venti as the primary here because Mona has an easy time attacking them during the Vortex, and Venti provides much better grouping compared to the rest of the Anemo users. Fischl provides great filler damage with Diluc while Mona's abilities are on cooldown. The combo here goes Diluc E into Venti Burst, Mona Burst, Fischl Burst, Diluc Burst into Venti E, Mona E, Fischl E, and then Diluc E plus attack sequence. The Abyss core for this comp is Diluc and Mona, and then you're looking for a healer and a flex, which can be the Anemo if you need group. Comp 3 features Diluc, Chi-Chi or Kaya, Xiangling C6 or Bennett, and Sucrose. Again, you can flex Sucrose here for Venti or Jean. This comp is Abyss ready. Similar concept to Comp 1, however proccing reactions here is a little bit more clunky. I put this as my number 3 because I believe this is slightly worse than Comp 2. Bring Xiangling if you have Chi-Chi for the heals, and bring Bennett if you're playing Kaya instead. Xiangling C6 is especially great to help boost your Diluc's pyro damage. The Abyss core for this comp is Diluc, Chi-Chi or Kaya, healer or flex, and then flex or Anemo if you need a grouper. There's no specific combo sequence for this comp, it's mostly spamming Chi-Chi and Kaya's skills to continually proc melt with Diluc. Comp 4 features Diluc, Xiangling, Fischl or Lisa, Jean, or Sucrose and Venti. This is probably one of the older Diluc comps out there. It does great damage, but compared to the others, doesn't scale as well into late game. Still, it gives you all the tools to properly deal with mobs and single target enemies. For this comp, there is no specific combo sequence. It's really playing off your Fischl E and Q cooldown, grouping them together when you have Diluc and Fischl ult together, and then using Xiangling to get her peppers and to deal more AoE pyro damage when they're grouped. This comp is also Abyss ready. Jean provides enough healing for you, Xiangling gives Diluc a nice attack bonus, and Fischl is there to help proc consistent reactions. The Abyss core for this comp is Diluc and Fischl, and then you're also looking for a healer, Anemo if you need to group, and any additional reactions if you need. If you don't need any additional reactions, look at Xiangling for that attack percentage bonus. Comp 5 features Diluc, Bennett or Xiangling, Xingqiu, and Beidou. This comp is Abyss ready. I'm not sure how good this is compared to the rest, but this definitely looks like a lot of fun. In League of Legends, we call a team comp that has everyone put all their resources into one person funneling, which is a pretty spot-on depiction of what's happening on here. Rotate Xingqiu's Q and Beidou's Q so that Diluc permanently reduces all damage taken. Bennett provides sufficient healing and buffs Diluc even more. Diluc becomes literally unkillable while still proccing strong reactions as he goes through his rotations. This is great against single target enemies or enemies that are invulnerable to disruption, but it's worse at dealing with mobs than the other comps. As far as combo sequence goes, again, like some of these other comps, there is no specific combo sequence. Just make sure you buffer Xingqiu's Q and Beidou's Q, and then switch on to Diluc and pretty much proc all the reactions with E spam, ult spam, and just shred the enemy quickly. The Abyss core for this comp is Diluc, Bennett or Xiangling, Xingqiu or Beidou, and then flex if you need a healer or an Anemo. Comp 6 is my free-to-play and features Diluc, Xiangling, Kaya, and Barbara, specifically Barbara with Thrilling Tales. This comp is Abyss ready, so if you're free-to-play and you want to start grinding Abyss, this is a very solid comp to rock. This is a great all-around comp that allows you to proc strong elemental reactions and deal with mobs. Barbara and Xiangling do their job at buffing Diluc up, and Kaya can enable you to proc melt pretty easily. Again, this comp doesn't have a specific combo sequence, you're just looking at getting your Barbara buff, your Xiangling buff as much as possible, and then spamming Kaya E into your Diluc skills to proc melt. For the characters I didn't mention, I put up a quick graphic which has every character's explanation for why they didn't make it into my comps. Take a second to pause the video if you're curious why a certain character isn't in one of the comps listed above. Thank you for checking out episode 3 of my team build series. I'd really like to hear from you guys as to what your favorite team is so far. Comment down below with your current party setup. I'd love to check all of them out. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to my channel. Your support goes a long way in helping me put out quality Genshin Impact content every week. Also, check out some of my other Genshin Impact content if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. Till next time.